Hello, this is Kitty Anderson. I'm your board-certified menopause coach. I'm 68 years old this year, using HRT successfully for 18 years. If you want to feel premenopausal, come to coaching. I go beyond HRT and coach a 15-point plan for full recovery. If you're not yet feeling premenopausal, email jumpstartaip@gmail.com. This video was originally created in the summer of 2020 after I went to High Dose HRT. I had learned that spring that the doctor really doesn't know my best HRT dose, so the experiment surprised me. Hey, it's Kitty Anderson again. I'm a board-certified menopause coach. And I have been studying menopause probably for 5 years. Really heated up in 2020 when I wanted to figure out, do I have enough HRT for my immune system? So I got that answered, and I upped my dose 4 times, upped my dose for estradiol, progesterone, and testosterone. Awesome, great results. Of course, we found out later in 2021 from a study across 17 countries that women using HRT were 50% less likely to die from COVID-19. Sadly, I know your doctor didn't share this news with you, as it was not shared around the world. And no one told you that having COVID means you can't lose weight. So what else changed with High Dose HRT? Happy with that. You can check my other videos to talk about that. What I want to talk about today is the wild and wonderful things that happened because I upped my dose and I changed a little bit of things about my routine. So this is one of 3 videos about my 30 wild and wonderful results. So there were so many, it was hard to even pick some of the things. So the number one thing that happened was it totally boosted my mood. So I thought I was pretty fearless before. I thought I was pretty together, but I became more together from the upping of the dose. It actually boosts my mood. It increased my resilience. It changed my outlook on life. I was far less fearful. I was bolder. I was more motivated. The fact that I even started this channel, I was actually afraid to start this channel before because I don't want to be a personality, right? I don't want to be famous. I'm a researcher coach, right? I'm here to help people with real information, real science, and help them boost their health. Email jumpstartaip@gmail.com. I simplify the science. I have written 35 ebooks that summarize the safety studies for any menopausal treatment. If you want a complete education on menopause options, email me. So I coach not only on the HRT, but I coach nutrition, movement, sleep, stress management, toxin reduction, pharmaceutical reduction, and healing relationships. So I'm working on everything that impacts the stress on your body, which also impacts your HRT. Conventional medicine does not look holistically at menopausal treatments. So I want you to get this all in context, is that with the low dose HRT, I just had to do so much on the other elements of health. Everything I recommend is based in science. And now I have just more leeway, but mood is the number one change that you're going to see when you boost to a high dose HRT. I always recommend getting high dose HRT before you head to psychiatry or psychology. Number 2 is skin health. So my skin has, wrinkled, of course, right? It's not going to stay unwrinkled. But I actually used a gel of estradiol on my face and on my neck. And what happened was it firmed up. because I quadrupled the 3 elements that affect your skin, estradiol, progesterone, testosterone, the skin of my neck is not saggy and chicken-like, right? Of course, nutrition is another element to skin health, right? So that really changed with 14 years of HRT, but I had 7 years of low-dose HRT because my doctor was against HRT. I didn't realize how much she was influencing my ability to use and have access to the best products. So underdosing your HRT is the #1 reason that many women continue to suffer from menopausal brain fog. If you'd like to build a brain fog recovery program, email jumpstartaip@gmail.com. So I went in with research and I converted her. And this is what I'm always recommending. If you want to have these wild and wonderful results, I want you to go ahead and try and convert your doctor with my initial HRT appointment guide. So this is a free ebook that I created for you so that you can work with your doctor and get them converted. And then this will help you know what to look for in terms of results. So I use a gel, an estradiol gel, on my neck and face every day to kind of enhance it. I use it with a patch. So I'm using a 0.1 milligram patch plus a gel of 0.1% estradiol. Our doctors aren't really trained to optimize your dosing, which is higher than the 0.06% that you'll see. So I'm using a higher dose of everything safely. I'm using this all safely. There's no endometrial buildup. So my face is restructuring. The pores in my face are shrinking. So I don't have all those black dots of the pores that you see, right? So the skin structure is really changing. My hormones, nutrients, and light therapy can totally restructure your face. My skin started tanning better, right? I noticed a distinct difference because I upped the dose so much. I got better tanning, which my dermatologist then told me less skin cancer for you, dear, now that your estradiol is quadrupled. Would he tell me this the first time I went in? No, he did not tell me anything. So the wild and wonderful thing is I have very low risk of skin cancer right now. For so many reasons, estradiol will lower your cancer risk. Now, and estradiol alone is neutral or beneficial for 19 different types of cancer. The oncologists are all for estradiol. They're like, go, go, go. And the immunologists are all for estradiol. In fact, there's 33 medical societies, so 33 groups of different types of specialists, are supporting the North American Menopause Society position statement from 2017 that said HRT is individualized. There is far greater benefits than there are risks. So I did it for all the health reasons and really to be protected from COVID-19. So number 3, let's get into COVID-19. I quadrupled my dose early, and then I found out this supports my immune system. Woo-hoo! Raise the roof! This is supporting my immune system. And women who use HRT, 68,000 women who use HRT versus the women who don't, were 50% less likely to die of COVID-19. And my test happened when I was exposed to someone in the same room without a mask, very close quarters, for 8 hours, and the next day they got COVID. They started showing COVID symptoms. So I did not even catch it. I didn't have a sniffle. I didn't have anything, but I had super high dose of HRT. My blood levels of estradiol were up at 200 picograms per ml, so way higher than most will ever let you go, right? So the low dose products will take you to about 15 or 30 picograms per ml. So I was doubling up at that point. And lucky for me, because I got exposed, a heavy exposure to COVID-19, and I did not get it. So that's my personal experience. I can't guarantee What it'll do for you, I know. It works on the immune system. There are certain elements of the immune system that must have testosterone to mature those cells to do the work. Certain elements of the immune system need the estradiol in the membrane of that cell. That's how it functions. That's the elasticity of that cell. That's how it works best. That's why your immune system gets weak after menopause. It just like drops off a cliff, guys. It's just like your hormones drop off a cliff. Your immune system weakness drops off a cliff. So, hey, there's another huge benefit for me. So I could walk the planet in confidence, right? So I'm not worried about getting an infection. And I also believe that if I do get it, I'm going to battle it really, really well. Now, I use also an immune support diet called the autoimmune protocol, and that is key. So those are the building blocks. I got to have those building blocks in order to have my immune system function too, right? So I'm putting all the elements of health together. I also use low-dose naltrexone, which they're testing against COVID-19 while you're in the hospital with COVID-19. They know it supports your immune system. So I'm not going to lie to you. This is all really critical. This is the wild and wonderful stuff that could happen in your life. This can happen in your life. Yes, you still need to get stress under control. I offer stress management coaching sessions. We're going to take this bull by the horns. That's what we've got to do, because our society does not run this way. It says, oh, we're going to have a vaccine in 18 months, la-di-da-di-da, which will work X% of the time, but it's not going to super strengthen your immune system the way nutrition, movement, sleep, stress management, HRT, toxin reduction, those things are going to bolster you. It's going to make you have these wild and wonderful effects. So I really don't know if HRT alone is going to give you the effects that I have with HRT, nutrition, daily movement. I've got all these things all piled up. So I just want to let you know that HRT is cornerstone. I've looked up the science, and it's the centerpiece of this entire thing. And it actually helps you with the motivation to do the diet and exercise. We're not designed to not have these hormones in our body, so you are swimming upstream without them. See my video, HRT is natural for the 100 functions of your hormones. Another thing that happened, I was really kind of on the low dose products. I was kind of bony, actually. I still was able to manage my weight, but it was really hard to stay up with the food, right? Because I was hungry all the time, which is impacted by your estradiol. Being hungry all the time, I had to eat frequently. Now I can go longer times without eating. I really appreciate that. It just buys you time. It lets you do your best in those hours that you're not eating, right? Nothing keeps you calm and happy quite like high doses of estradiol. So that was key, but I was bony, and now because of up the testosterone, I have more muscle. I actually have more vibrancy. And because I upped the estradiol, I'm not putting fat around my waist, because the estradiol directs it to the hips. And hips are popular right now, right? Hips are really popular. So I'm more curvy and more muscular. And boy, that's nice. That's a good feeling. In fact, I notice my posture is better. The other thing from the heavier exercise that I do now that I have the higher energy with the higher testosterone, the heavier exercise plus the estradiol, both of those play into what's called your lipid panel. So your doctor at your annual physical is going to do a panel that looks at your cholesterol, triglycerides, HDL, LDL, right? So those numbers actually improved to the point where I look like a professional athlete. My doctor was like, "What are you doing? Your blood levels are just fantastic. I don't see numbers like this from people your age." And I told him, okay, I increased this and I know it impacts lipid levels, and I increased this and I know it impacts lipid, and then I could increase my exercise because of the testosterone, right? So there you go. Bing, 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 bing. You've got really great numbers on your annual physical. And the other thing is, in 14 years, even with 7 years of low dose, I have no new diagnoses. I had one diagnosis of autoimmune 26 years ago when my daughter was born, right? So the fluctuation of hormones will impact and create an autoimmune disease. Now I got an easy one, right? So it's thyroid, and that's easy. You just replace it with thyroid hormones, right? So I was used to replacing hormones and getting my health back. So when HRT came around at age 50, I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I think this is a great idea. Let's put those back and see what happens. So you are an individual. Build your personal plan with jumpstartaip@gmail. So this is all your experiment. Whether or not you get wild and wonderful results is entirely up to you, right? There's universal laws of hormones. It's what they should be doing. You've got to optimize your health and wellness with nutrition, movement, sleep, stress management, pharma reduction. 370 drugs interfere with your HRT. So I'm sorry, I can't make you a promise that HRT is going to fix everything in your life. How many drugs are you doing? How do you get off those drugs? You work with your doctor. You get off those drugs. They're going to interfere. They're either going to give you a dangerous level of HRT, or they're going to suppress it and make it as if you're not getting any HRT. And generally, there are 120 functions of HRT, and I've got this in my initial HRT appointment guide. You can talk this through with your doctor. You say, I want these benefits. You know, you ask for it. This is our job. This is our project now. This is the only way I can figure out to get healthy. I did nutrition and it wasn't enough. I did movement and it wasn't enough, right? So you just, to get it all back together so that you have wild and wonderful results, you got to get the HRT in place and you got to get to the high doses, right? So that's the job. So those are my wild and wonderful experiences just in the last 2 years on the high dose HRT. And I actually have a new doctor because my other doctor left the state. And I've never had a friendly doctor. You don't wait for a doctor who's go HRT. Nobody, I have never had a doctor that smiles at me when I have an appointment. I've never, they're all frowns. They're all negative. I don't know what they're doing in OBGYN. Even the ones outside of insurance, they're just not supportive. You have to drive this process. If you want emotional support, you want a team member that's an expert, come see me for coaching. We can turn things around. We can do a positivity session, and we can turn your life around so you start to understand how this all works, and we figure out your personal plan. That is the only way this works, is if you have a personal plan. Okay? I'll help you design it. All right. That's all I have to say for today. It was great seeing you. Good luck with everything. Call me if you need me. jumpstartaip@gmail.com. Bye. This is Kitty Anderson at YouTube, Create a Menopause Recovery. We have a social justice issue with only a few menopausal women getting their HRT. Please share this video and help our sisters.